Hey gearheads, and welcome to Garage Talk. I'm Corey, and that is the trim I would buy. Maybe not the color of the new 2023 Chevy Colorado Z71 trim. I am in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, where I will take this one on a quick drive and take you on a quick interior tour. Stay tuned. All right, gearheads, yes, I am in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. I had to come all the way up north to test this. No longer in Texas, but yes, I found my way in a pickup truck here. This is my second Colorado to test drive. This is the trim I think I would buy personally. This is the Z71. But while I've got the hood propped open, I'll go ahead and talk powertrain. There is one powertrain option in the Chevy Colorado for 2023. There are multiple different tunes of this powertrain, but it's a 2.7 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission that was refined and updated from last year. So a lot to talk about here. Like I said, multiple different tunes, and as long as you don't get the base configuration, you can take it to your Chevy dealership, pay for them to do a flash, and you can have a warranty covered power bump to get the most out of your 2.7 liter Turbo 4. And this engine has been around for a while, powering the bigger Silverado in the Chevy lineup. Closing the hood, we can either appreciate or despise this nitro yellow just a little bit. It does give good contrast to show you exactly what makes the front of this Z71 so unique versus that Trail Boss that I drove previously. We get black painted front grille inserts up here instead of all black plastic up front. So this is definitely a more classy vehicle. This is the one that you would want. Well, it's a Suburbanite truck with an off-road flair. We'll put it that way, because it still has all the off-road amenities that you would expect with a vehicle with a Z71 badge, like red tow hooks. So yeah, you get red tow hooks. I'm looking at you, Toyota. You just now brought them to Tacoma. Why don't you have tow hooks on the Tundra? Side rant over, but coming around, we do have LED headlights, LED fog lights, all the LED stuff up front. And then coming around to the side, we have crew cab only, short bed only configurations, no extended cab for 2023 and up. You know, if you've been following the mid-size truck segment, Tacoma just came out with a 2-door option. They came out with a long bed option. Yeah, so you only get one cab, one bed in the new Colorado for simplicity's sake, which does help with cost. We'll talk more about that later. And then, I don't know, you tell me down in the comments what you think of the Colorado badge here on the driver's door. Is it misplaced? It seems too high. So this very much looks like the door of a Silverado. Silverado would look good with it placed down here. They put it on the front fender on Silverado. So I don't know what Chevy is doing with their name badging on the side, but clearly the most optimum place for this badge would be right here. Like, it's the right size and everything. Again, side rant over. I would say the overall proportions of this are very nice, very tidy. I like it. It would work in a city environment, and we'll get more on that in just a little bit because we have a special guest in this episode. Coming back to the back, we do still get leaf springs back here in the back. Some manufacturers and some trims of other trucks are ditching leaf springs in the backs of their pickup trucks, but it is the old tried and true suspension that you'd normally get. But we are starting to see multi-link in the more premium off-road pickup trucks and in full size. So just something to note there. One thing I don't particularly like about this exact model is the wheels. We have too large of wheels. I would get 18s. These are 20. They're Bridgestone Dueler ATs. I'm looking for the measurement on them. They are 255 R20s. I don't like 20-inch wheels on something that is supposed to go off-road. 18s are even pushing it for size. It's just a little too big. I want more sidewall on my tire, please. We do get these pretty cool looking LED running lights on the taillights back here, but it does still look like we have incandescent bulbs inside the housing there. And then very familiar Chevy tailgate here. You get Chevrolet stamped in the bed. Colorado is placed in a much more logical spot back here on the bed. We do get a black painted rear bumper like bigger Silverado, like Trail Boss, things like that. Speaking of the bumper, we do get a side step here, big enough for a foot. You know, Ford has recently started implementing a bedside step on the 24 Ranger that they claim is big enough for 2 feet. That's their jab at Chevy moving forward. And then opening the tailgate, it is a damped tailgate, so it comes down nice and slow. You get Colorado mountain range here on top. I can't call this a ruler because it's the bed and the tick marks are just way too thick to do any actual measurement. I always joke that this is for telling or avoiding fish stories. So measuring fish and being able to tell how big the fish you just caught is about the only logical explanation for that, because if you're doing woodwork, it's not going to be precise. You do have 2 latches that open up this little storage cubby in the tailgate. This is actually innovative. I actually like it. It's lockable. When the tailgate's locked, you can't get into it, because when the tailgate is closed and locked, I should say, you can't get into it. It is weather sealed, so whatever you get in here will stay wet or dry depending on how you have it. There's a drain plug in here. It's about 4 inches deep. You can either ice it down and put your drinks in it for a tailgate, or you can put things like tow straps or jumper cables, things like that in it. When you close it down, these latches are recessed enough that you're not really gonna catch anything or drag anything on them if you're dragging it over the tailgate. So I like it. It's a unique situation, or unique solution to a problem I didn't know that we had. Before I climb in, I do want to show you the key. Typical Chevy truck key. You've got lock, unlock, remote start, and your panic button. It is a proximity key, so you can keep it in your pocket. Chevy does the button, so no pad on the back. You just push the button to lock or unlock. They only put it on the front door, not on the back door. So if you got a little kid in the back, well, you'll be opening or unlocking it from the front door first. I'm gonna go ahead and put the key here in the center console, and we can talk about the door and work our way inside. The Z71 trim, like I said, it's for Suburbanites with an off-road flair. So we get 2-person memory seats. I like that. You get an automatic driver's window, but just power windows all the way around. We do get leather seats with this red stitching, red accenting. I really like that. They are heated, they are ventilated, and you get multi-position with lumbar. So I like that a whole lot. Coming in and closing the door, put my foot on the brake. Well, I'll go ahead and show you this. So we have dual screens up here. This being the Z71 doesn't get the ZR2's big screen, so we get the smaller, I believe it's 8-inch gauge cluster here with the 11-inch infotainment screen. But I'll put my foot on the brake, start it up. You can see here, again, off-road flair. You can do pitch, roll, steering angle, all that good stuff that you would want to know off-road. I do like the use of texture and material in here. So this is a very nice texture. We've got stitching all the way around, and that extends all the way across the vehicle, really emphasizing the width, the size of this vehicle, as does the infotainment. Very large infotainment screen here. Chevy says they are committed to doing horizontally opposed infotainment screens, especially in their pickup trucks, again, to emphasize the width. Again, I told you this has heated and ventilated front seats. You do get physical controls for almost everything in this vehicle. I like that a lot. You do get automatic dual zone climate control in this one as well, but I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. I said you get physical controls for almost everything. The light controls are moved up here into infotainment. So if you want to actually turn the lights on, you're going to have to go through these touch buttons up here, because the only thing you get over your knee is the brightness control for the gauge cluster and your trailer brake control, which is a little low for me and placed a little bit out of the way. We do have Google infotainment here. We get a lot of nice buttons and toggles, including a fart button right here that you can put all 4 windows down at one time. And no, you can't do it up. That's a shame. So you got to roll them up. can defeat auto start stop here. You get your hazard button right here, lane keep. You get an auxiliary switch if you put lights or winch or something on this. You get USB-A, USB-C, Qi wireless charger, 8-speed automatic via a mechanical gear selector here, which accesses the 360 cameras that are crisp and clear and very nice. You've got multiple different camera angles here, and you can see all around the pickup that come in handy when off-roading. Really like it. Chevy does a good job with their cameras, even here on the Colorado midsize. Here you get all your drive modes, and you turn the dial here for off-road, tow haul, terrain, which has one pedal driving, but you've got to be in a 4 high or 4 low for that, and various different things. I really like that. And this is an automatic 4-wheel drive, so you can put it in auto, and if the truck senses slippage, it will go into 4-wheel drive. You do have a couple of nice cup holders here, center console with a removable tray that is rather deep, and you get a lot of this digital camo look in various different places in this pickup truck as well. I like the top of the center console. It's a good place for my arm to rest, and I get pretty good headroom in here as well. We do have a standard sized sunroof up here with a hand opening shade. So all around a very good front seat. Let's pop out really quickly and see what the back seat is like, because even though Chevy increased the wheelbase on this truck, it is less roomy on the inside, and the back seat suffers for it. First of all, I will say the backrest no longer folds down like the previous generation. Ford is very proud that they made their back seats fold down in the 2024 Ranger. Can't do that here in the Colorado anymore, but you can flip the seat bottom up. It is a two-handed process that I am going to try and do while holding the camera here. You have to pull up that lever and then pull up the seat. Unfortunately, all of this plastic takes away from underseat storage. So without the folding flat seat back, there really is no good flat storage back here in the back of the truck. It is 60/40, so I do like that. It allows you to have a child seat over there on the passenger side and still get underneath, especially because that's where all your jack equipment and such is. I'll go ahead and move my backpack out of the way and climb in and show you what it's like sitting behind myself at 5'10". It's not bad. I'm not going to complain. It's not bad, but it's also not a Silverado. Silverado has almost too much room in the back. Here we've got just enough. It's not a bad place to be. We do get map pockets on both of the front seats. We get air vents on the back of the center console here, USB-A, USB-C, a couple cup holders we can access from back here, and we do even have fold down center armrest with 2 cup holders in it there. So all around, not a bad back seat, but let's hop back in the driver's seat and introduce you to my special guest on this episode, because I did joke, this is a pickup truck for suburbanites with an off-road flair. So why don't I bring in somebody from Chicagoland and see what he thinks of this pickup truck. All right, folks, I have got Anthony from Anthony on Autos with me. How you doing, good sir?
Doing well. How about yourself?
Doing really well. You hail from the Chicagoland area, is that correct?
That is correct. I am a suburbanite.
Yes, and pickup trucks really aren't your flair, right?
No, if we have them around, they're pretty much for posers.
Yes, so this one kind of toes that line in that, you know, I talked about it's got those 20-inch wheels on it. We are on just a gravel road. Today is an on-road only day, so I found a little bit of off-road pavement I could just to see what this truck was like while I had you with me. Which brings us to, what does it ride like? What does it feel like to you, somebody who's not really big into pickup trucks, knowing just how rough this texture is?
Well, from how I am bouncing around, I'm going to say that it feels like a pickup truck.
Yes.
So it does feel bouncy.
Yeah. It definitely rides like a truck. We've got a big empty bed back behind us. There's only so much you can do, especially with those old school leaf springs back in the back. Some other trucks are doing much nicer things with multi-link rear suspension. But this one, I've said it multiple times in this video, this appeals to me as someone who lives in East Texas, who would use this as a family vehicle most, but would still want to do stuff off-road. So unlike that Trail Boss I drove yesterday, we've got some luxuries in here. Leather seats. You just turned on your cooled seat.
Yeah.
We have heated seats up here, which is only the seat bottom in this one. I'm in a Silverado, and it's got a heated seat back as well. So,
Oh,
you know,
nice.
I'm getting up there. I'm flirting with 40, and that lower back can use some heat from now and then.
It makes all the difference.
But now that we're on smoother pavement, it's nicer, right?
Yes, definitely.
So, nicer ride. Still, yes, a pickup truck, but a lot of good amenities in here. Infotainment that everybody likes. Use of texture and material in here is very good too. What are your thoughts on the overall interior as I take us back off-road just a smidge?
So I am impressed that it has heated and ventilated seats. I do like the infotainment system and just the fact that in your gauge cluster you have your steering angle, transfer case, your pitch and your roll. I mean,
all that good off-road stuff.
It's so cool, and I doubt anybody's really going to use it. But I mean, it is a lovely interior and definitely an upgrade from the previous generation.
Yeah, and I think they are looking to expand the appeal to Suburbanites with an off-road flair, because off-road vehicles are picking up traction. They are becoming more and more popular, and people want that appearance of off-road capability. One of the great things about mid-size pickup trucks are their size and maneuverability. I really like them. It's where I would shop personally. As much as I like Silverado, and especially I'm driving a ZR2 Bison right now as my week-long tester. So it's really exciting and fun and cool, but this is the size vehicle that would appeal to me most. You live in the city. This would work better than a Silverado for you too, right?
Yeah, so in the suburbs and definitely in the city of Chicago, this would be a lot better. I know that, you know, a lot of people, they're going towards the Ford Maverick because it's smaller, it's more car-based, but if you're looking for something that is bigger and actually can do you know, off-roading and is a pickup truck, then you probably want something like this, especially with all the amenities that it has.
I know for my trails at home, this is the size I would want for sure. For some of the trails we did yesterday, this is the optimum size of a vehicle because it's not too big and large and unwieldy. It can maneuver small, tight trails like we have in East Texas, and really makes me want to test one of these on my home turf. Let me know down in the comments, do I need to beg and plead Chevy every single week until I get one of these? I think so. Driving it around makes me want more with it. I joke that going to events like this is like speed dating with different vehicles, and I very much want a second, third, fourth date with this pickup truck. Any final thoughts from you before I ask you what you think the price of this thing is?
So I do like the exterior. The paint, I would probably get it in like a blue or something that looks good with that that badge. The interior, like I said, huge upgrade compared to the last one, and I actually do really like it.
Yeah, it's very nice in here. What would you say the sticker price of this one is?
With the options, maybe 47 to 48.
Pretty darn close. This one is 49 and some change as spec'd. So it's getting on up there. Mid-size pickup trucks, it's ridiculous. I bought an 07 Silverado, very well equipped, brand new back in 2007, $37,000. So it's a whole different ball game. I'm showing my age, but Anthony, where can people find you if they want to know more from you?
So I am a writer for The Gentleman Racer, and I also have video content on both Instagram and TikTok for Anthony on Autos.
So go check him out. You can find me Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, everything at GT Garage Talk. Go read more about this and everything else I've driven here at the, I didn't even tell you where I am, the 2023 Midwest Automotive Media Association, or MAMA, Spring Rally. And I've absolutely enjoyed my time here. Go find all my articles at GT Garage Talk. Links to everything else from there. Until next time, gearheads. Bye.
Ciao for now.